What is going on, guys, and welcome back. My name is Matthew Maselli,
And I'm Carter.
and we are 85 Opportunities. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys go ahead and drop a like on this video. It really helps us out a lot. Share this video with your friends, subscribe if you're new, and turn the post notification bell so you guys stay up to date with all of our latest and greatest videos. We have not been in the studio for a minute, and we got tons and tons of things to talk about today, and we're going to be addressing some of the concerns within Web3.
Yes, I could not be happier to get back in the studio. We haven't recorded in probably 2 or 3 weeks now. We were on our spring break, and then we just decided to take a week off. But we come back. We want to educate you guys a little bit more. Like he just mentioned, we are going to be talking about the concerns in the Web3 community. The very first one that I wanted to note was the cost. The cost of mint prices along with the gas fees. Granted, the companies or the creators don't get any royalties off those gas fees, but the costs up front are really high. Most of them are anywhere from probably like the lowest are $250 to $200 probably, and then towards the higher end they could be thousands of dollars for one mint. So just that initial cost is so much for people who don't either want to get in the technology or don't really understand the technology. That's a huge upfront cost that they're maybe not willing to spend.
And it's also that gas that gas fee is also increasing the price. Like sometimes you're trying to buy an NFT and that gas fee costs more than the NFT itself, which makes, the accessibility to those NFT projects a lot, you got to have big money to get into those big projects that are going to be successful. And, it's really hard to kind of tell which projects those are. Another concern that we see within the NFT community is a lot of people are getting into this community right now, and they don't have the right mindset. They're not going in here with a long-term plan. These people are coming into this industry. They're seeing all these people make all these millions of dollars, and they have the platform and they have the resources to get people to build these projects for them.
Right. Those people are so far ahead right now just because of the wealth that they have already created before this point. So they can spend that much money and not even blink an eye. Whereas somebody who may just be starting out this, maybe with just like a normal job, normal salary, may be a little bit more questionable dropping that check.
And we talked about in a previous episode, the team behind the projects really matter, and you have to know who's behind these projects. When you have people like game developers that are leaving top tier companies to go pursue an NFT project, something's up there. But when you have like NBA players dropping a collection just to make a couple million, and then all of a sudden they're too busy playing basketball to go pursue this collection. Now everyone just spent all this money and it's absolutely worthless.
Absolutely, and that actually did happen in a De'Aaron Fox rug pull. You can find more details online, but essentially he dropped an NFT collection and then didn't do anything after the mint. He kind of just went back to playing basketball, said he was going to put it to the side for now and get back to it later, but to the people that just spent money on your NFT, that's not very promising. However, hopefully he follows through with that eventually, but yeah, like you were saying, that it's definitely that happens. Like rug pulls do happen, and that's why you have to be very informed in what you're purchasing.
You really do have to be cautious, especially now. Like we've seen start to go a little bit mainstream. Like people are starting to pick up about this industry, this niche, and the more people that get into it, the more careful you have to be because there's now more rug pulls. Everyone's always trying to make a buck or two. Like they're going to do whatever it takes. They're going to try and put you out with a marketing scheme. They're going to try and convince you, but really know who's behind it and what's going to come from it.
100%. And the next thing is the user experience, really. A lot of times it's not easy to purchase these NFTs. You have to gain access to information, whether that's through Twitter pages, through other sites like that. Discord is also huge for that. If you don't get in early, a lot of times you miss out and maybe not even gain access to that information. But also it just goes down to like the usability of it. And so say like apps like Uber or Airbnb, they're very user friendly, very intuitive. Everybody can use them and understand it, and they have a lot of features that give you a lot of capabilities. These are really, like a lot of these sites are really hard to navigate, and it's almost like they don't want you to find this information and you got to go digging through it for yourself.
Yeah, we see a lot of friction in the buying process. of NFTs, and I think that's really one thing that is holding it back from being mainstream to more people, just because you see you can purchase real products on Amazon within 10 seconds. I can go on there and click it. With an NFT, I need a crypto wallet, I need all these different things, and it just takes so many steps, and it's so complex to get into this system that once it becomes more accessible and more user friendly, I think we'll also see more benefits long term with that one. Another thing with that is the scalability. Because it's so complex, you can't really scale these things. A lot of people don't know. And scalability in business, like, you have to be able to scale your business. That's how you're going to thrive. That's how you're going to survive long term. So I guarantee that we're going to see some changes within the near future. It's just right now, early stages, very early on. Like, even the graphic content, anything that you see coming, like, it's very, very early stages. Nothing is very like in depth yet. While yes, the buying process and that is complex, the items themselves and the platforms are not super complex yet.
No, I would completely agree with you on that. And like you just mentioned, that scalability, we have parts of our world that are still developing. They are not going to have the hardware, the software to be able to run these types of programs, making the jump from even Web 2, which they may not even have that in some places of the world. So, like you were saying, in order to globalize this, there's going to be a lot more infrastructural needs that go into it, and without addressing those, I think we're going to see some like growing pains through the Web 3 community.
We definitely will, and we saw them with Web 2. Web 2, no one thought that it was going to be anything, and everyone that I know and everyone that everyone is on Web 2, and it's going to transition into something huge. And speaking of, that social aspect and everything like that, there's a new app that I actually came across today called Play with Stakes, which it is a sports gambling app, but it's more for your casual gamblers. It's not a real gambling, like, you're not gambling real money. You actually can use the coins that they give you to gamble on certain, like, player props and things like that, and you can win NFTs from it, which is kind of similar to like the Moments NFTs, but it's a little bit different because a different project, completely different. But it's an app that we will link down in the description that you guys can go ahead and check out. And if you guys use our promo code, you will get another 100 coins that you guys can go ahead and wager. And you guys can win free NFTs if you guys hit those bets with using those coins, which is a really cool thing. Once they integrate some kind of marketplace where you're able to sell them, like, they do have them listed on OpenSea right now.
Right, but they probably don't have much value as of right now, just because it's a super limited amount of people who are actually even know about this, as well as it's just like, it's very simple. I logged onto it today as well. We both just kind of got into it, and it is for your casual gambler. There isn't like a huge stake. It's all free money. They give you coins as soon as you sign up. But it's a very social aspect. It's people proposing like what will happen in a game, and you say yes or no, or you pick the categories on what players you think they are, and other people can either hop in on that and wager, and that's how you win those NFTs. And it's like, you called it trophies is what they're called. So yeah, it's just a fun little social aspect to gambling with extremely low stakes, which is cool for the sporting world.
Yeah, and the NFTs that stuck up, it kind of shows, like, oh, this dude really knows his knowledge about sports and things like that, and that can kind of translate into other aspects, other business models, and other things like that. But I do see them kind of integrating some kind of method where, like, money will be involved long term. But this project's super early. They do not have many followers at all. I just really thought this was a cool project, or something that's gonna it's gonna stay around for a little bit. I think this project will do some good things long term. I really do. But in the sports world, we do have another sports project that we just heard about. Russell Wilson is actually partnering with Gary Vee's brother AJ, and they're launching the first ever sports drink NFT.
They are, yes. So I actually encountered this tweet earlier this week, and I was kind of blown away. If this goes through, this could change the way consumers purchase goods and the way that large corporations market their goods. I think, just to give you a little bit more information, the hydration drink is called Local Weather, and it will be the first hydration project in the NFT community. So the utility for the NFT is that once you purchase it, you will gain access to their exclusive flavors that they will drop. They didn't say how often they would be dropping those flavors, but you gain access to those, and you are the only one that can purchase those. So not only are they busting into the sports drink world, which is probably millions of dollars, tens of millions, if not hundreds of
Maybe even
millions.
billions, probably billions.
Absolutely. So not only is this for big corporations, but they're also trying to get into a huge market. And if they are able to merge that athletic sporting market with NFTs, and people really see the bridge between that could completely change things.
Not only that, if other businesses hop onto this business model and they start doing things like this, like Pepsi, Coke.
Right. And that's the people that they're competing with. Like if they start, if this gains mainstream traction, like it completely changed the way things are even marketed.
Once competitors, they see some one of their top competitors or someone that's rising in the industry do something, they're obviously going to hop in and try and one up the competition.
Right. It's going to be snappy too. Yeah, like they're going to want to get as much money out of it as possible. And if you're the first, there's more to be made.
Yeah, I think we're going to see an explosion within the next 6 months. We're going to see an absolute explosion, absolute transformation of, the utility. This adds a utility to your everyday consumer. It's not people that are buying NFTs anymore. It's not an NFT thing anymore. Now it's a real item good, like it's a real tangible good that you are getting. Everyone buys sports drinks. Everyone buys like all those different kinds of things. And once you incorporate some kind of like selective process where you have to own these things, the corporations are making money and the people are now they're obviously gonna gobble up these NFTs.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be incredible. And just to stay on the sports topic a little bit, Dapper Labs, who we had talked about in the past, go check out our previous videos. We do talk about Dapper a little bit in there, but they actually had a new project. They switched from sports to a project called the Flunks, which is kind of like a little spin-off on like a CryptoPunks, but also like a high school dropout deal that they're going for. So what do you think of that, Matt?
I looked into this project a little bit. I think it's more of going to be what it looks like is more of it's a social aspect right now. They have like these different high schools, and you can be in these different cliques within the high school, and they give you like money to build within their platform. So I don't know exactly how that's going to work yet. We haven't seen too much. They just minted last week, so there hasn't been too much. They're in phase 1 of their roadmap right now, which we will link the roadmap in the description down below, so you guys can go ahead and check that out and check out the project as well. We will link them in the description.
Absolutely. We'll also link the local weather project with AJ and Russell Wilson as well, so you guys can take a peek at that. But yeah, so I thought that was really interesting. They had a mint price of $250, sold out immediately. There was a collection of 9,999. So like you said, it's limited. They're gonna go, anything that Dapper touches turns to gold, and this process just keeps continuing.
Yeah. Dapper is just always on top of everything. But we actually do have a new company, a new platform, and a new token that we are going to be talking about today. And this token has been going absolutely wild. Zaquilla is the token, and they are dropping a new Metaverse platform called Metaverse, which I saw some videos of this platform, and I think it's going to be crazy. I think this is the most advanced Metaverse platform that we've seen to date, and some of the partners, some of the people that they're working with is going to be absolutely insane.
Yeah, they absolutely did their homework when they were looking into this type of technology. They recruited the right people, and I think they kind of took their time in releasing the technology that they had planned, because when you put something out there, people are going to be very judgmental about it. They kind of learn from the mistakes that earlier people have made in this space, and I think this is honestly like a very good time to release something like this. Like he mentioned, we will link the video in the description. It's super cool.
No, we're not even gonna link it. We're gonna play it right now. So that was a sneak preview of what their platform is going to look like. Like you said, we are also going to link that in the description down below, so you guys can go ahead and check that out on your own whenever you guys want. But this platform is the first token for the platform. Is Zaquilla, and they have been up 300% since they launched, which is absolutely wild. It's absolute explosion. As soon as it launched, as soon as the news hit, everyone has been going crazy about this, and the platform has not even launched yet. They're going to be
and that's the craziest part, that all of this is typically it's really just hype. But it seems like they kind of have all their ducks in a row, and that they're going to unroll this crazy platform coming up on April 2nd it is.
April 2nd, they are holding a VIP event in Miami where they will be launching it publicly only to the people that are there. So the main public cannot really get into it yet, but I'm sure we'll see that in the near future. But it is the first layer 1 metaverse platform, which is going to be something crazy because you're going to see a lot lower gas fees and a lot of different ways you can build the smart contracts on that platform. While it is built on their own network, they have a different kind of code for it, which we're not really going to get into because, neither of us are familiar with that.
Too technical, yeah. A little too technical for us.
But, the plan for this metaverse is kind of to make it an XR metaverse, which XR stands for extended reality, which is essentially kind of a mix between AR and VR. It's not going to be completely just in a digital metaverse, and it's not going to be integrated into our personal lives. So I'm really interested to see how they're going to go about that. I think they're going to have some tangible goods within the real world, but also a lot of digital things and things of that nature. But there is a statement from their CEO that stated that this metaverse isn't about replacing reality, it's about better understanding the digital world, which I think is a crazy key statement, because with all this NFT projects, all of this metaverse, all this Web3, right now it's really all about better understanding this digital world. There's a lot of non-believers, there's a lot of people that are like, this isn't going to work, this is stupid, but long term, when 20, 30 years, when that is the norm, people like us that, or maybe even a little bit older, they're going to be very disconnected because they didn't understand this digital transition, and we are going through it so fast, and I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, and I actually love that statement because it looks at it from a completely different lens. It takes a negative way of thinking and says, hey, okay, let's look at this from a different angle. Why not take this as a learning opportunity to where we can either implement our social aspects of our lives or our work aspects of our lives and use this technology for something that is trying to just, like, people are just tearing this down saying that it's gonna not work. Like, I think the world is only going to become more digitized, and if we refuse to become educated on the internet, it's gonna be just complete chaos. So yeah, go ahead.
Every day we see technological innovation, and it's in every industry, every single industry, and the more that we see that it goes towards that, the more we're going to see things like this appear, and it's never going away. The non-believers, like, it's not going away. There's just no end to it. No matter what you look at, like, from a technology standpoint, everything just keeps getting more advanced, and while yes, maybe Web3 isn't what people think it is, what their idea is, but long term, it's going to be absolutely astronomical. I can't wait.
You're preaching to the choir, man. You're preaching to the choir. Well, thank you guys for sticking with us. That is what has been on our minds for the past week and a half as of right now. Please leave a comment as to what you guys are looking at in the Web3 community. If you have any cool projects coming up, we'd love to take a look at them. So please engage with us. But thank you guys for coming on.
Yeah. We love engaging with our fans. If you guys want to go ahead and follow us on Twitter, we will link that first link in the description down below. We love talking with our fans, talking about projects, talking about pretty much anything.
Anything Web3. Hit us up.
But yeah, that was pretty much all for this video. We will be back on our regularly scheduled programming. Every Saturday, we will have a new video up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. My name is Matthew Maselli.
I am Carter Getty.
We are 85 Opportunities, and we will catch you guys next week. Peace.